It's in the morning. Hello, everyone. XIlyana here. I guess I'm going to keep trying to fucking talk about what is going on in LA and how LA is always trying to fucking manipulate you. I mean, it's for your own good. I don't agree with that. I think for my own good, it would make more sense for me to be a nerdy engineer on their way to Mars as opposed to any kind of celebrity. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not a celebrity. As you can tell, I still have the makeup on from yesterday because Maybelline Superstay Vinyl Ink Liquid Lipstick is Superstay. So when you draw on your face, it's just going to be there a little bit longer. And I mean, I'm not that upset about it. It still looks good on me. It does look more like bruises, though. I guess that makes sense. I do feel battered and bruised living in America. This is why the United Nations Human Rights Commission is investigating the United States for war crimes, crimes against humanity, and violations of human rights on my behalf. So I don't know. I sent an invite. It might just be me today. I'm trying to see if the microphone is a little bit better than yesterday. I did a whole podcast and no one could hear me. Like, I don't even know where that came from. It's like the mic just whatever. So if you can hear me, let me know. If you can't hear me, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll just keep going on and on and on and on and on. Which I'm okay to do because, well, I hate it here. So even just saying out loud to myself that I hate living in Los Angeles is enough. I would prefer to have my disability benefits, but if I don't have my disability benefits, I'm going to spend my entire time saying how awful this world is.
There you are, my friend.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You see,
I just had to look for a second.
I don't even know
I had to
what we
look
had
for a second.
yesterday. Yesterday I did a whole podcast and I'm like having fun and I'm singing along to my own music and there was nothing. So people kept trying to say, we can't hear you, we can't hear you. I'm like, I'm really trying to groove to my video right now. I'll get to that when I get to that. So a whole hour of just silence and me just going, and nobody could hear a thing. I was just like, oh.
Oh, I've been there. My first live. I didn't realize I turned the mic off. I talked for a full hour and a half and nobody heard a freaking word. So
And I
I had
made
to
some
delete
really
it.
good points too.
That's the sad part. That's when the badass shit comes out your mouth, is whenever there's nobody listening. But I had to give you a closer look for a second, man. It looked like you got the shit beat out of you, and then I realized it's just your makeup.
No. I guess you weren't part of the first live that I did early in the day, but
No, I was doing mine.
yeah, well, yeah, as you normally should. I mean, you have that goal of monetization. So, did you make it? It's been like 2 days, hasn't it?
I haven't checked yet, but yesterday I had 25 hours left, and that was it.
You know what 25 hours really is? 25 people looking at you
For an hour.
for an hour. That's it. These numbers are kind of goofy that way, but what it is what it is. I mean, I'm not
Yeah,
going to complain.
which altogether, if you look at the lifetime hours of my channel, I've got like 4,000 watch hours. I don't know why I have 4,000 watch hours, but only about 3,000 valid public watch hours. How does that work? What's the difference between watch hours and valid public watch hours?
You know what? It might be because you did some shorts. Some of your videos were just too short. That's all. So they count toward another thing as opposed to your main category.
You know what? That makes damn sense. Why don't they put it that easy in the fucking description?
Do you actually have the YouTube Studio app?
Yes, and I'm still trying to figure it out.
Okay, yeah, you just need to go to the button on the far right and it tells you everything you need to know about your own metrics. Like right now, I'm at like 1300.
Oh, nice.
1300, and then I join the ranks of people like you.
No, I'm sitting at like 1754 in subscribers, and I'm sitting at almost 3,000 watch hours. So, like, I think I did pretty good for a 6-month trial. I was only trying to test this out for a year, and in half the time that I expected to get a monetization, I already have my chance for my first.
It's an amazing thing because, as I said, you are going to be able to go to Sweden and document the whole thing and just have this wonderful experience. And I received yet another disability denial letter from the VA. Just another one. Right before they timed it perfectly because right before I do an appeal, a higher level review, they're like, let us just remind you of how much we dislike you. So they send a disability letter that says that, they deny me my PTSD, and it's just like, are you fucking blind? Does it look like I'm a regular person after what the military does to me and continues to do? Does it
Which
look like I'm a regular person after that? No.
I, I had an idea for you, man. Try for regular disability. Try for regular disability. That might help you out. You know,
You
if
know,
you can get,
I have someone for the Social Security disability income, but they also say, you know what, you didn't work enough.
they told me
I'm
the same thing, brother.
I'm disabled. I'm disabled, and I'm a military veteran. What part of that does, like? Well, you could work more, and I'm like, no. So you know what? I have to go with what I was originally saying. That money is just, it's not good. It really
No.
isn't. What is good is the United Nations Human Rights Commission putting economic sanctions on the United States for the violation of my human rights.
That's good. At
So
least
yes,
that's
having
happening.
the United Nations do that would be more justice and satisfaction. It wouldn't be money, but it would be justice and satisfaction. And plus, it could also translate into maybe speaking out globally on human rights violations by giant fucking corporates like America. I can't really consider them a corporation because it's really just a corporate power.
Yeah, we're kind of one long business from start to finish, unfortunately. It's been that way since the American Industrial Revolution, you know, and we've just been a superpower for all the world's supplies for their good shit, and we're taking everybody's crap. You know, that's something I've never understood. You know, why are we giving away our best products when we should have them for the American people? If we're going to be giving away cars and stuff like that to foreigners and everything like that, why not give away those cars to a veteran? Why not give away those cars to a police officer, to a poor family, to, somebody who honestly fucking needs it? You know, instead of trading it for commerce, trade it to increase your own economic value in your own country. I just don't understand why they don't do that.
They do, I can answer that question for you. I'd like to answer that question for you. They
Go
do
ahead.
that specifically because they want you to be a victim, a raged out person who doesn't talk to another person.
Yeah,
Because
you
when
see,
you stop talking to each other, you don't ask for things collectively. You don't ask of your government, hey, that car that you were going to sell to fucking Japan or Germany or whatever, and just give it to them. How about you just give that to veterans? We don't ask for things like that. We think in our heads, that'd be cool if they did that. We don't say to each other, let's get that done. Let's make a bill and say, no, 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 no. All foreign aid has to be matched domestically, or you don't give foreign aid. That is a
There you
bill I
go.
would like to put together, which means that I have yet another petition to write. I am in politics without being in politics. I'm so upset because this is what a real community leader looks like. Okay, I want people to really pay attention to this. The fact that I have makeup on my face, the fact that I look wild and look, I'm a transgender person who just can't take care of themselves because I'm poor. It is what it is. But I am fighting harder for American rights than your politicians are. What does that say about your country that the transgender person who's really poor and looks terrible is fighting for your rights harder than you will?
Well, what does it
Not
say when
you,
the
other people.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. What does it say about the people when a crazy old swamp rat's willing to stand up and take a stand against the entire government, but somebody with a bunch of money and, civil influence isn't willing to do it? But yet here's my humble little old butt standing up going, "Hey, wake up. You're being stupid." But they're never going to do it. They're never going to listen to somebody like me. I have to have a backing, like you said. I'd have to have a group of people stand behind me all at once. And I do mean a large group. I mean, like Martin Luther King, I have a dream speech size group. And stand in front of these people and tell them, no, we're not going to take this crap anymore. No, we're not going to put up with all of our stuff being sold to somebody else. We're not going to put up with getting the rest of the world's cheap shit. We're not going to put up with dealing with all these dumb things, until we're blue in the face. And there's no reason why we should ever have to put up with this. Our politicians should be working for us, not us working for our politicians. That is one thing that the Constitution was serious about. The government works for us, not the other way around. And we have forgotten that over the years.
Have you forgotten it because you don't recognize slavery anymore? You don't recognize when you are being either coerced or manipulated into being a slave, being someone who is such a beta male these days. People talk about beta males, they don't really know what that means because we are all beta males because we do not challenge the president, we don't challenge the mayor, we don't challenge, because that's what you did in a tribal society. If you really disagreed with the course of action of your tribe, your country, whatever, what you would do is you would call out that chief and say, I will fight you one-on-one. Now, obviously, anybody could take Donald Trump in a fight. Now, I wouldn't recommend it, but anybody could.
I'm afraid I would punch him and come back orange.
They don't do that anymore. Your president isn't a warrior. That president didn't even go to Vietnam. He's not a veteran. But yet still, because
He fled the country.
America wants a daddy. America doesn't even want a real daddy. They want a grandpa. They want the wise old elder, but they don't talk to the wise old elders who are veterans, who know the country, who love the country. Look at me. The country sexually abused me, and I can't stop myself from spending every waking moment trying to save these people from a burning fire.
Yeah. And I totally understand that because, I sat back and I did my petition or my poll today to see if anybody would donate to my charities. And man, I got like 3% would donate, and the rest of them said, screw you. And to sit there and know that that is majority of the answer when it comes down to helping out a school and a state park, not even me. I don't want a single percentage of that money. None of that money goes to me at all. It all goes to the Friends of Village Creek State Park and to my friend Eunice Salada's school in Ghana. You know, $200 to them, $200 to the park, and that's my goal. That is my first attempt at doing my charity. Nobody's donating though. And I guess it's just hard to I guess it's hard to want to trust somebody that most people look at and consider uneducated or consider unarticulated for the simple fact of how I look. Yeah, guys, I realize I look like a crazy old man from the backwaters of Southeast Texas. Well, guess what? I am a crazy man from the backwaters of Southeast Texas. But I'm one who enjoys reading National Geographic, enjoyed Discovery Channel growing up, loves learning about history, loves learning about other cultures, loves learning about other beliefs, which is why I'm a straight white pagan male sitting here with my dear friend who is obviously not straight in any sense of the word. He could hide in the shadow of a corkscrew. But
I've never heard that one. That is clever. That is clever. Who came up with that one? You came up with that by yourself? Because I was about to say, well, you were talking about you being from the, you know, the backwaters, the backwoods. I say, well, there's a banjo playing in the background somewhere.
din, 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 din. Yeah, I've heard that before. Wrong turn. I've got that a lot. Jeb Clampett. I've gotten him a lot. You know, it's hard to want to listen to somebody that most people would think is dirty. But I actually take my baths on every day, you know, on a regular basis. I try to take as good a care of myself as I can. But like you said, I'm a poor folk and I'm a smoker. So, and I have a caffeine addiction to coffee.
You know,
Coffee.
if I just enjoyed coffee, I would just be happy like everyone else.
I had Monster instead of coffee today. I had 2 of these.
Someone please do a screen grab of that and then send it to the Monster Company and say, "Are you aware of what your drink does to people? People say Guppy Prince from Princeton. Now look at him."
Oh, good God. Either that or just be like, unleash the monster.
Well, clearly.
Oh, man. Speaking of that,
You do make a good point, though. I really do wonder what is going on with America that nobody really stands up for themselves and says, you know what? I check out. I check out. Because that is also an option. I said it in my podcast without you that I think secession is the way to go. I think it is important to pull away from the United States while still living in the United States because you can do that legally. It's called states' rights. If enough of us move to a particular state, you have the right to self-determine the destiny of the area. Now, we have seen what California has become, and some of us agree with it, some of us disagree with it. I disagree with it on several levels.
I think
But
it's one long dumpster fire.
thank you. I agree. I just call it the meth capital of the world.
I would have to say that's probably Caney Head out here in Southeast Texas, because honestly, like every other house is a meth lab out there. I mean, when your best catchphrase for your entire town is nice tooth, I mean, seriously, you got problems. I mean, God,
Is it true that in some rural areas that you buy Tic Tacs and hold them in your pocket, not because you want to freshen your breath, but the sound of the pills rattling around in that container sound like Vicodin, and it causes women to come and approach you like a lure for deer?
I wouldn't know. I've walked around with Tic Tacs for the longest damn time because I think they're kind of tasty. I like spearmint, but I never attracted a lady with them. The only times I've actually ever attracted somebody instead of having to approach them and actively pursue them like they want was probably about 4 times in my life. And the first time was my first fiance, and she come running up to me because I was sitting out there at school, and I was all by myself, and she couldn't figure out what the hell I was messing with at first. So she came up to see what was going on, and I had a baby turtle, and we got to talking, and I attracted her using a baby turtle. But I think the next one I knocked somebody clean cold the fuck out for, and the others just approached me, out of nowhere. But it's only been 4 of them. The rest of them I've had to actively pursue, which is why I'm tired.
Some people have a sign that says free puppies instead.
Oh, man, maybe if Shuck would get busy and give me some puppies, I'd be able to do that.
Oh my god, is Pup not is Pup intact?
He is, but I can't find him a little female pit bull. That's what I'm trying to do, is find a little female pit bull and breed her with Shuck so that I could add more pit bull into his DNA. Because right now he's got Irish setter, black-mouth cur, Rhodesian ridgeback cur, and black lab, and just a smidgen of pit. Just enough pit bull to make him look like he's half pit, half lab. I want to add some more of that pit bull to him because I'm trying to make the ultimate hunting dog called a Shuck Hound.
I'm about it.
Me too. The ultimate hunting dog, something that can swim, something that can run, something that can be powerful, something with a good bite and a hell of a sniffer. So I'm trying to combine all those efforts into one animal and call it a Shuck Hound.
My little white bitch, she sniffs a lot too. Isn't that right, love? Isn't that right? Come here. There you are. Aww. She knows when I'm talking about it because she just shows up.
Oh, hi, sweetie. Hi, XIlyana. XIlyana, not Liliana. Bah.
No, people want to call her Lilith because they see her on the street and they see me talking to her and directing her without using my lips. Like, honestly, I cast wards and she just moves accordingly. They've never seen that. You see, that's the thing that pisses me off, because I almost want to say white people forgot to be white. Like this is how you run a farm. Like, people are looking at me like, you wizard, you sorcerer. I'm like, if you lived in Scotland, this is how you run a farm and you chase down sheep.
With whistles.
With whistles. You don't even fucking say a word. And some of them are so smart, you don't even have to whistle. You just point and they do it.
I just did that, and Shuck picked his head up and looked at me. He knows immediately what I mean.
Dogs are extremely intelligent, and for the longest time, we just ignore the fact that they are.
He just came up to me.
I could hear your dog, and your dog just sounds so adorable.
Shuck, that's my earphones.
There is so much love there. Oh,
all right.
So much love.
See? Two different ways to whistle, and he knows exactly what each one of them means. I whistle, I snap, I point. And he knows exactly what I mean.
We have to go into some of this chat. Courtney, ask John Mayer. He cares deeply about veterans. John will know what to do.
Hello, Jesus. When'd you get off the stick?
No. That's not Jesus. That's Jesus, his Mexican cousin.
That's still Jesus in Mexican.
I love how fucking sneaky that is. It's like, I want to name my child the Son of God, but if I actually do, it would be blasphemy. So his name is not Jesus, it is Jesus.
Well,
like,
technically, every time a white person names their child Joshua, they're naming him after Jesus' real name. His name was Yeshua.
oh.
Think about it.
Nah, I'm real Jesus. Look, if you're the second coming, then please into my mouth.
Oh, come all ye faithful.
Made you choke on that smoke. You trying to take a fucking toke because I'm giving you fucking nasty shit. Oh my god.
Now for some reason I got the song "Oh Come All Ye Faithful" in my head.
That was just too good. Oh come with all you faithful.
Yeah, we really should get a soundboard because we tend to bounce some pretty goofy shit off of each other.
Right. I've got the delivery time and then oh come all you faithful. Yes. I'm gonna put that on my soundboard.
Oh god damn. Anyway. Well, hi Jesus, I'm a son of Thor. Now that I can breathe.
You just might be.
Well, the Norse used to refer to themselves as the sons of Odin. You know, and I refer to myself as the son of Thor because Thor was the protector of Midgard. And I've always felt like I've tried to protect the planet in some shape, form, or fashion as best I can. I can't really get my voice out there so well in the 90s for sure. But I'm trying to get it out there now through YouTube. You know, and yes, guys, I have another job other than this. I have my own business. So quit saying get a damn job. Eat a dick. But anyway, you know, where I'm getting at is that, you know, there's just, damn it, I lost my train of fucking thought. My brain just went.
Is it because Caleb said which one of you is the girlfriend and I said it's not me because I'm not as pretty as Clint?
I did not hear that, but I'm not the girlfriend either. I'm straight, guys. I'm just friends with them.
They love to tease you. Oh my god, this is one.
They seriously think I'm gay. This has been going on my whole life.
This is a fucking slash fiction, okay? This is Spock and Captain Kirk. They want a. You see, this is what I love about people because they will root for romances where there are no romances. You know that show Supernatural?
Yeah, I know Supernatural. I've watched 5 seasons.
Yeah. They actually had to address on the show how many erotic fictions they had between the two lead actors.
That was hilarious. That episode was funny.
So many came through. The first episode came through, and already people are like, okay, so when are they gonna fuck? And I'm like, they're fucking related, you dumb bitch. I know you get off the gay men having sex, but these two are legitimately fucking brothers. They don't even look that alike, but go with the show. They're related.
And the sad,
when's it gonna happen though?
the sad part about it is they say they hear banjos with me.
I know, right?
And they're trying to get two guys. That's like, man, when I was growing up, my first girlfriend, my first love, she had a thing for Inuyasha. She loved the show Inuyasha. And she had a thing for fanfics, and for some reason it was always Inuyasha and Shishomaru, and I was like, you realize they're brothers? That's just creepy. Uh-oh, you lost sound, brother.
I'm sorry. Technically, they only lost a mother between them, but they were related by the father. But it was also the weird power dynamic of they're constantly competing with each other, and there's so much tension. And I'm like, how do you read "I'm going to beat the shit out of you" as sexual tension? But they do. Somebody was just like, well, you know what? When he finally dominates Inuyasha, he's going to kiss him. He's going to lead. It's like, why would you write that? That is not the vibe of it. It's a cartoon, and they sexualize it. And same thing with Supernatural. You know, Jensen Ackles, and it was a little joke here and then, and all of a sudden, like season 5, they just had to say, yeah, there's a whole convention dedicated to the two brothers having a passionate romance.
Mm-hmm. And you see, that's one of the things about our world, you know, especially about here in America. We're kind of prudes. You know, we're a little afraid to show our kink, you know, and quite frankly, I think it's because of years of sexual oppression. Because, you know, if you think about it, up until the 80s and the 90s, everybody was like, keep that shit in the closet, you know, but now people are starting to come out more with their sexuality. And it's always been these little probably drugs and SpongeBob.
No. Like in the 60s, around the time that they started using LSD and things like that, tits got very fucking airborne. Okay, nipples were seeing air in the fucking 60s, and then around the 80s, or the high of the Studio 54 thing, the 70s. Yeah, it's like drugs were flowing through the city, and people started saying, I feel good, I look good, I'm sexualizing everything.
Yeah, and that kind of ended up turning into a culture. Now we over sexualize everything. You know, we overstimulate everybody on every single angle whatsoever. And instead of just letting them enjoy themselves and be themselves, we try to, like I've always said, push them into a little box. Be like, here, this is how you're supposed to be. You can't be anything else. And it's caused a lot of people to secretly have closet kinks. You know, like, I'm not afraid to show off the fact that I like my black leather. You know, I'm not afraid to tell my Jin that, hey, I'm a bit freaky. You know, but you know, woman's got to be prepared sometimes for a man's kink style. We're probably the most sexually oppressed people on the planet is, you know, straight white men. So they got to prepare themselves. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay, I don't know if you were able to catch that part, but I was in, I want to say Wyoming, watching a video, and this guy was he's straight, sexually liberated. Talk about sexually liberated. He had no clothes on, the windows were open, the door was wide open, and, you know, he was
Flapping in the breeze.
flapping in the breeze, and it was a big one, big white one. And he's like, if the neighbors see, sometimes they come inside. I'm like, what town is this? What blessed heaven is this? That people are just like, you know, I don't have to lock my door because I know I'm giving that knock knock to your pussy. What?
You know, I can get behind that because there was one time when I went up to Washington, I actually got to visit a nudist colony. So I take off all my clothes and I'm getting ready to do this. And I'm like, this is going to be fun, you know? And I walked through the door, dude, and never go to a nudist colony. Well, you would love it. But if you're straight, never go to a nudist colony. There's more swanging dicks flopping around out there Anaconda Joes walking around than there are women. And every woman that's there is married.
You see, this is why I want you to be one of my close friends, because I wouldn't take you to a nudist colony. I would take you to a swingers club. The
Now,
swingers club have a rule that if you come, you bring a girl to play and trade, and she agrees that she is there to
to
play and
play
trade.
and trade. I've been a swinger.
Then you know
Yes, I
how
have
good the
set rules.
offerings are. How good the offerings are.
Yes, I had set
Yummy!
rules.
The comments are fucking lit, dude. The comments are so
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
lit. You couldn't even say anything. He's like, yummy.
But no, dude, I've been to a nudist colony. I've been to a nude beach, and yeah, it's a sausage fest. That is a place for a gay man. Yeah, it is not a place for a straight dude. Because I'm sitting there going, I'm surrounded by more worms than when I go fishing. I'm out.
Oh my god. Okay, the funniest thing wasn't even the fact that he had the door open, this Wyoming guy, who I enjoyed so much, was the fact that people were offering him their girlfriends, their wives, and he, in response, said, I'll fuck your wife. I'll fuck your girlfriend. I'll fuck your daughter. I'll fuck your mother. I'll fuck your grandma. I'm like, why is grandma needing your dick right now? Why does grandma need your dick? Why? Why would you
Because,
ask that?
hey, somebody's got to knock them cobwebs off.
But why? She got the little charm bracelet on. She's trying to jerk you off, and you want to put the charm
Clink, clink, clink,
bracelet.
clink, 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 clink. You want some?
Is that sexy to you? Is that sexy?
You want some cookies afterwards, dearie?
Now, not too much, dear, if you put it in my ass.
God, Granny got kink.
Not too much.
Granny got kink. What is she, German?
Must be, must be. And how is that sexy talk? Like, okay, everything was sexy except for that. Like, it went from, oh my god, your daughter, ooh, she's straight from college, I'm gonna fuck her. And then it's like, I'm gonna fuck your mother too. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I guess it's been a while, she could use them. I'm gonna fuck your grandma. I'm like, why grandma gotta be
Why,
involved?
Grandma?
Why
You gonna
grandma
break her hip, dude?
like, grandma isn't built for the fucking sling, and you want to sling her fucking 7-year-old ass and like have her divide her legs as little bats come out her vagina? Come on.
Squeak, squeak, squeak.
It's
Good
been a
Lord.
while. It's been 84 years.
It's like the nudist grandma that goes skydiving. I'm like, no, she don't even need a parachute. All she's got to do is just grab the flaps, But she goes nude parachuting.
At a certain point, you should just say, Grandma, can we just buy you a hooker? Like, why you gotta have me do a closed casket because you want a nudist adventure with play? Can we just get you a hooker? Can we just get you a gigolo? There's some men at the gym who need protein supplements. If I pay for their protein supplements, they might throw you a bone.
We'll find you a Deuce Bigelow.
You don't have to do this. You don't have to do this. Let's just find you a man, okay?
Find her a nice Deuce Bigelow. I love that show.
Oh my god, that is. I have to say, he's such a great actor. Rob Schneider. He's one of my absolute favorite. I know people like Jim Carrey. I prefer Rob Schneider. I think Rob Schneider just nails it. He's over the top funny, but yet still somewhat grounded to reality.
You know what?
Beyond funny, so cerebral, so meta that it becomes, dude, I can't laugh at you because I think you're warping my brain.
And he's so animated. He's like a cartoon character. He's very much like a cartoon character. But one of my favorite comedians, And a lot of people don't understand it until they actually get to know me and they watch the show Fanboys. If you've ever seen it, it's a Star Wars flick.
I heard about it, yeah.
It's fucking hilarious. It's got Dan Fogler in it. And he's basically me, with the exception of he gets a little peeved over small things. But he's basically me. And people who get to know me are like, no, you're not Jack Black, you're Dan Fogler, because he's all over the place, he's zany, he's wild, he doesn't give a shit. And above all things, he'll sit there and straight up just improv the whole time he's doing shit. And it allows for a more organic experience when you watch the show, because a lot of people's reactions to what he's doing on the show are legitimate, because he just straight up threw the script out the window and is like, no, I'm going to be me. And he's hilarious. Balls of Fury was absolutely funny.
I was thinking of that recently. Yeah, that's a good one. That is definitely a good one. I am reading some of the comments. LJ Politics. I'm not even mad at you because some of that is really funny. It's Alibaba and the 40 Thieves.
Yeah, I read
LJ
that.
Politics, you look like you go boom at the airport. And I'm like, wrong type, dude. Did you crash your carpet into the Twin Towers?
A whole new
stuff. Don't make me laugh at the fucking 9/11. But SNL did it so well. SNL did it so well because I think it was Adam Driver
I think so too.
As Aladdin, and he had to fly his carpet while talking to air traffic control.
Hello, this is customer service. How can I help you? Sorry for the little bit, of a stereotype there, but it's the only Indian voice I can do.
I'm not even upset at that. I actually had an Indian doctor, and he was talking about his own family, and I said, "Are they so happy that you're a doctor?" And he's like, "Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that, dude? Why'd you do that?" I'm like, "Is that not how they sound? Is that not how they sound? Or, I mean, am I supposed to recreate? I mean, if you want to give me a clip so I can recreate it to your liking." But I thought we were having fun, silly time. See, this is why I'm so upset at minorities sometimes, because they don't know how to laugh at themselves. They don't know the difference between we are trying to laugh with you or we're trying to laugh at you.
And you see, that's
funniest thing is Borat. Okay, Borat is my fucking pinnacle of comedy. There's no one funnier than Sacha Baron Cohen as he is playing Borat.
I can't do the bikini thing.
The mankini? The mankini?
I can't look at him. I cannot look at him. Oh my God.
The mankini is a movement now, okay?
I know.
It's actually
I know.
I don't know how you do it.
I don't either. I've got nuts. Okay.
How does it stay?
That thank you. I've got nuts. They're gonna hang out of both sides. I'm gonna be sitting there with Frog Eye.
I mean, it is bright green and it attaches to you somehow, but it doesn't come back the other way. So where does it go?
I don't know, and I don't want to. I would feel like Homer Simpson. I think my body just swallowed my swimsuit.
So wait a minute, what do you wear when you go swimming then?
Cut off blue jeans.
You heard it here first.
Cut off blue jeans. Pretty much everything I wear is denim or leather. Unless it's a t-shirt and then it's cotton. But everything else is
cotton yourself there?
I wish I actually knew how to do that. I wish I actually had a cotton gin and everything. I could make my own clothing. That would be awesome. But no. I go and buy USA made cotton t-shirts.
Where are there still US made cotton t-shirts? I'm just curious.
Believe it or not, here in a Texas Walmart. Yep. Texas Walmart, USA brand, Hanes, USA made t-shirts. I spend an extra $5 for a package just because the tag says made in USA.
You know, they could also sew in a tag that says made in USA, but really it's made in Bangladesh by a 5-year-old.
I probably expected as much, but at least America gets the money.
Like, how often do you really check on things like that? Shouldn't you? I mean, if you make a statement like that, aren't you supposed to kind of check on that? I'm not trying to call you out, but
well, no, I did check up on it, and there is a factory here in America that does make Hanes clothing, and I'm just hoping it's that factory, and that factory's not just a facade. You know what I mean? And
you mean like if you visit it and you go to open the door, the whole cardboard cutout just
falls down? Yeah, kind of situation. Don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain. You know?
Oh my goodness, LOL. Well, Alonso, I don't know what to tell you. If you can't, you see, this is why I tried to scrub away the makeup, but I gave up. I gave up because I said, why can't you just have silly time? Why can't you just be silly for like an hour? Because the rest of my life is literally running from women in public. So for what, an hour, 2 hours, I sit and I chat with you, I giggle like a child. I giggle like a little child that got told that farts can be lit on fire. That is the amount of glee that you give me. So I might as well just enjoy it and be silly. Be silly. Laugh at myself. Have people tell me I look ridiculous, but really I look so much cooler than you can. Not you. Because you leather daddy wizard.
I forgot about that one.
Your epitaph is going to be Clint, the leather daddy wizard of time.
I forgot that guy called me Leather Daddy Wizard. I forgot about that.
You know, and people will come up to you who are huge fans and say, "Will you bless my child, Leather Daddy Wizard Clint? Will you bless him? May you give him strength. Have Odin come and give him wisdom. Thor, bless him with strength. Oh, Leather Daddy Wizard, will you bless him with your magic powers, Leather Daddy Wizard?"
God, man. Speaking of that, hold on. I got something to show you.
Voice actors are world.
Where did I put it?
What in the hell is going on in here? Please, cam reactions. I don't know what to tell you, dude. And by the way, come find me on fucking Cyberpunk 2077.
All right. So, what I've got here is what's known as a rune staff. What you do with these is you put the runes for the different things you want in your life on a rune staff. You put a little bit of blood going down it, and then you burn it. And it's like an offering to the gods. And this is oak, which is like my tree. I've always had an affinity for oak. And I'm going to be burning this for prosperity and protection and all kinds of stuff like that here soon.
Clint, what happens when you hold that with two hands?
It looks really naughty.
No, that's what I saw him from Wyoming. That's the guy from Wyoming. As he fucking helicoptered it in the middle of the fucking open door. Leather Daddy Wizard, can you make your stick rise without talking to it? Veterans owe Americans money. Let's be honest. Welcome to the chat, Mercury's Mess. And for that, I bless you by giving you a gift. Please enjoy. Let's be honest. Veterans don't gotta do shit. They fought war.
There you go, Nicholas. Thank you. That's
There
all I
you
have
go.
to say. Because
Absolutely.
Mercury's mess, I'm going to tell you right now, buddy. You ever fought? You ever had bullets whiz past your head? You ever had bombs go off around you? I have. And yes, it happened in basic, but you have to go through that. And I got blown up in basic training by a grenade because I was trying to be an active duty Army personnel. I was going to be a 13 Bravo cannon crewman at Fort Sill, Oklahoma, with the 1st Battalion War Eagles, 2nd Platoon Bulldogs. And that was my whole MOS. That was my platoon. That was my battalion. That was my fort. That's where I was for 9 weeks, until I got badly injured and I had to spend another 2 months there. And then I got sent home. So, yes, veterans shouldn't have to do a damn thing because I understand what they go through. And I've also been shot 3 times before I went into the military.
Coffee and vodka with Ian and guest. This is Clint Gage. I don't know if I introduced him properly. This is
Thank
Clint Gage.
you.
He is a wonderful podcaster here. You can follow him directly from the description that is for this video. There's a link directly to his channel. Please like and subscribe.
Thank
I
you
would
all.
rather do this than sit through church any day. You want to come sin with us? You want to come sin with us? Came to the right place then.
2 pagans sitting in here just chit chatting, man.
Let's get nuts. I love Michael Keaton for that fucking scene. That fucking scene is so over the top, so wonderful. You want to
You
get
know
nuts?
what?
Let's get nuts.
You want to know one of my favorite scenes with an actor you would never expect to do a role like that? Have you ever seen the movie Stardust?
Oh my god, are you referring to Robert De Niro?
Yes! The can scene. Oh my god, he had so much fun with that, and I'm sitting there the entire time going,
This is
"That's
why
Robert De Niro?"
This is why you have to say Robert De Niro is a national treasure. Robert De Niro is one of the finest actors that has ever lived because even though Daniel Day-Lewis is the king of serious acting, he just wouldn't do something like that. It's
No, he
beneath him to
wouldn't.
do something like that. But that movie Stardust, I keep going through like this cavalcade of trash, just horrible, horrible movies. But even movies like that have a point to make. Bad movies sometimes are just really good stories that try to say
Yep,
something. Like Catwoman. Catwoman from DC is considered
was
the
good.
worst female movie ever. So bad that they said, you know what, we can't have female leads until pretty much Black Widow was like the only like female-led movie after that because it was so bad. But when
And
you
then,
look at the script,
Black Widow flopped.
but then you look at the script for Catwoman, and it's the story of an evil corporation that makes you put on makeup, but if you use the makeup, it makes your skin look lovely and your face turns to stone and it's stronger than ever and you gain all this power. But if you stop using it, you get headaches and your skin just falls apart. And I said,
Yeah, it rots.
yeah, you remember the film. That is a real story that needs to be talked about because a lot of women they use cosmetics. Like I use the Maybelline Superstay matte ink, liquid lipstick, or sometimes the Maybelline Superstay vinyl ink liquid lipstick. But even so, yeah, I feel good putting it on, and sometimes it looks great on me. But sometimes, it just reminds me that I'm not getting enough vitamin D in so many ways.
Well, I know here soon I need some vitamin P.
Like I say, you need to hang out with the good crowd. I'm trying to get you some Swedish pea, so you can put those meatballs to giant Texas Swedish meatballs. You want to give it to me, American Clint?
No, I'm good, brother, on you. But I will give it to somebody.
No,
I
no,
will
no, no,
give
no,
it to.
no. We're gonna fly you to fucking Sweden, man, so you can get your free gun. Why the fuck are you complaining about, I need vitamin P? It's like, dude, you're about to be monetized. Go fly your fucking ass to fucking Sweden and say, here I am, ladies. Come and get it.
Yeah, because
Then
if I do
how do
move
they
to,
put as a fucking Texan in fucking Sweden? And they have to deal with, and I feel depressed today. I don't want to fuck. It's like, I'm from Texas, I am down to fuck. Guess
not
what?
only
Everybody
not
fucking
only that, but it's like, let's go hit the town, girls. Let's
thank
go have some
you. Thank
fun.
you. I was very blessed that I was in the middle of Tennessee and I was hanging out with, I guess, Clint Eastwood's like illegitimate son, like not his real son, but like he fucks
Yeah,
beside her or something like that. Because the guy
yeah, I
really
got
does
you.
look like him, and he actually does legally say that that's the case. But either way, I was hanging out with him, and two of us were laughing, giggling in a bar, and we run across, this group of girls who were visiting the United States from Sweden or something like that. And they were so happy to have someone to talk to. They were so happy to have someone who can tell jokes that I don't know how I did it because I am the smoothest talker ever, but I convinced them to have the Cunty Cunty parade. And in the middle of Nashville, down Broadway, we went. And the girls were fucking in line, marching down the street, and just like freak dancing as I beatbox, and everyone was just having a good time. And I still stay in touch with these girls from time to time. It just
Nice.
shows that these international women appreciate appreciate the freedom, the swagger, the confidence that comes from people who live in America. Now they may not
Hmm.
be perfect, and maybe you don't want to, have them open their mouths during dinner because some of the stuff that comes out. But they're so much more interesting than the men that they have there, because the men that they have there are just depressed all the time.
Well, to be fair, Sweden is a very traditional place. The women there like the adventurousness that us American men have, where their men are kind of get up, go to work, come home, eat, do missionary, get up, come home, eat, do missionary. That's all they really do. And then you have an American show up and he's like, screw missionary, baby. We're doing doggy. We're doing sideways. We're doing against the wall. You're sitting on my face. You're doing all this stuff, and they're not quite used to it. And it drives them wild. And that's literally according to what one woman told me from the Netherlands. I haven't spoken with many, but that's what one woman said who wanted me to move to the Netherlands with her. And I was like, I don't have sponsorship for the Netherlands, but I'll move to Sweden. I'll move to Finland or I'll move to Iceland, where we're close by. She's like, that's not close. I was like, sweetie, I live in Texas. An 8-hour drive is just a normal day. And she's like, oh. They have a thing about Texas, too. We have a wild reputation almost everywhere we go.
Hello, Danny. How are you? Welcome to the channel. I'm so glad you're here. Wow, dude with makeup saying makeup is bad. Have fun with your monkey props, bro. I don't know what to tell you. I was actually retelling the plot line for Catwoman the movie, and it has a point. Women
Clint
have,
Gage.
women have felt power stems from makeup. Women have felt, power comes from waxing their pussy and ass hair.
or
What they
being
don't
as
know,
sensual as possible.
what they don't know is that now some men actually prefer to see a little fur on the playing field. It reminds them that they're fucking a woman and not a fucking Barbie doll.
Yeah. Because trust me, I did it for a dare once, but I tried one of those stupid blow up dolls and they're no fun. They're no fun. But hey, I got $100 out of it.
Okay, you can't lay a story like that down. You're a terrible storyteller. Who is this person who said, "I don't know you. I'm Liam Neeson. I have a certain set of skills, and I would like to use them to coerce you to use a blow-up doll. Here's
All right.
$100. What is this story?"
All right. Here we go. Here we go. So we're all sitting around taking shots of Everclear with habaneros in them. Whoever spits up the habanero first is the loser. So that's how we used to party when we were kids. And we're passing around the joints, the blunts, the bongs, every one of the B's and J's you can think of. And you know, we're fucked up. All right. And one of them sister goes, guys, we got to get Clint laid. He hadn't been laid in like 2 fucking years. And I'm sitting there going, yeah, man, it's been a dry spell. Well, he sits there and one guy goes, I got a blow up doll. And I said, no way, dude. And one guy goes, really? I got $100. I looked at him. I said, $100? Really? What if I don't like it? He goes, dude, you tried. I was like, is the fucking thing clean? He said, yeah, I never pulled it out of the box. It was a gag gift. So I tried it. And it was not nice. It did not work. It was not fun. I quit after about 5 minutes. I was like, nah, this thing doesn't move. It doesn't make noise, but squeak, squeak. This isn't fun at all. It feels like I'm fucking a mouse, you know, so I just didn't like it. It felt like nothing but latex. It was uncomfortable. What's up, Danny? I can't hear you again.
I'm sorry you had such a terrible time with your inflatable friend.
Betty.
Blow up Betty.
Blow up Betty. Yes, it was a blow up Betty. And
You see, this during that time period, I don't think you had flashlights. Like now, they're super high tech. So every single one of those blow up dolls has a flashlight, which is
well,
okay. Have you ever tried a flashlight?
nope. I don't use toys.
You uninitiated little virgin, you. You come on my show and you call yourself a pagan and you're like, "Oh, I don't use sex toys, but I'm a freak." I'm like, what? Do you ask to see them in daylight? Is that how freaky you are?
No, I like bondage.
Well, you heard it here first. I use Danny's like, I use toys.
Well, now. But no,
That does not count.
you go crazy without them. I guess I have a little more restraint than most men.
Okay, I will be honest. I've got vibrators, I've got flashlights, but not flashlight. I couldn't afford a flashlight right now. I'm super poor. I've got dildos. I have imagination. Also, I've got the internet, which is the biggest fucking sex toy I've ever seen. It's just like every day. I mean, why would you watch television if you were a grown ass adult when you could watch people get freaky everywhere? Everywhere. Every part of the world has somebody who says, you know what? I could do this shit on camera. And I'm like, fuck yeah, you can. So I'm like, I'm in Germany, and I swear the giant muscles, and he called himself a gorilla because he was so huge. And I'm like, Bavarian Hans can come get it. Bavarian Hans can come fly over here and come get this. That's what I want. Like, I'm looking at
He's after an albino King Kong, everybody.
And this giant white gorilla is on camera, not even fully naked, but it's just like on camera with huge, huge muscles. And I'm just like, thank you, internet. This is what internet's for. The internet is for porn. The internet is for porn. The internet is
So
not for you to fucking Google, what is the chemical formula for a post-it. No, you're supposed to Google where's the pussy? Where is the fucking pussy? And this magic mirror, tells you exactly what countries you should put on your to-do list. And I mean to-do list.
Oh, by the way, guys, be very careful if you ever type in the word G spot when looking for porn, because you might get the wrong kind of porn. You might get granny porn. Oh no.
No, why grandma does she can't get no love.
I don't know.
Grandma just can't get no love. She in the home and she's just saying to herself, back in the 20s, I did orgies all by myself. I didn't know this, but I did the first interracial film. It was very to do back then. And then we all did the Charleston together, as in they all fucking came on my face. But it was the 20s, so he had to leave out the back door, because he was colored.
Oh man, I actually really don't, spank it or watch porn that much. Actually, no.
How hairy those palms? You show me those palms right now. How hairy? I see hair on those palms. What you doing, boy? You going blind? You going
The
blind?
only thing you see on my palm is a tumor. Oh, good Lord.
Please don't look at porn. It's highly addictive. You know what is also addictive? The crime of, in order to get laid, you have to pay a woman to go to the movies. You got to pay for her fucking raisinets, and you just don't have the balls to say, can you come to my apartment and give me a wank? Can you come to my apartment and just be a fucking dirty slut? There's no reason why you can't do that, but you want to pay good money to watch her eat when she should be fucking nibbling on your pee.
And you see,
Granny need love too. Boy, did you fucker. You fucker.
what I don't get is some fetishes. There are some fetishes out there that I'm just like, huh? Like a foot fetish. Why the hell do I care about your feet? I care about what's in between them. I ain't caring about your feet.
The wax? The wax?
No, I'm caring about what. Okay, look, what happens when you spread the feet, bro?
God,
What's in the middle?
Divide those legs. You mean legs?
Oh, well, the feet are attached to the legs.
I would hope so. What you doing? You fucking Humpty Dumpty?
No, she's one of them new Cyberdyne.
I would not be surprised.
My personal opinion is sex is reserved for a serious relationship only, and I back up my opinion by medical science. I got you, man.
Sex is natural. Sex is fun. Not everybody does it, but everybody should.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many people who are mentally unbalanced because nobody gives them a fucking hug.
Or
let alone sex.
Or
If
they've spent.
If we lived in a world where people did have sex more often, you might live in a better world. Some people say you need more guns. I say, no, you need more orgies. You need more people just fucking in the middle of the street. I think the biggest thing that we would ever do is when we repeal public sex as a crime. When we repeal that and say, if you're a consenting adult and that person is a consenting adult, and you choose to fucking fuck in the middle of a racetrack, guess what? That's just you. That's just who you are.
You might get a tailpipe rammed up yours, but you better be careful there. Give a whole new meaning to the word ramrod.
Jealous. If you are that confident to fucking pull it out in the middle of a horse track, you better make those horses jealous. Or you better put that worm away.
You ever heard that old there's a man that walks into a bar. There's a jar sitting there. It's full of $100 bills. He asks the barkeep what's with the jar. He says, well, we got a donkey in the back. If you can make him laugh, you get the jar. He goes, okay. So he puts a $100 bill in there. He walks back behind the bar, comes back a few minutes later. Donkey's laughing its ass off. Well, he takes the jar, walks out, says, good night. I'm going to the strip club. He comes back a week later. There's another jar sitting there full of $100 bills. He walks up to the barkeep, says, what's the jar for? The same thing? He said, no, since you've left, we can't get that fucker to quit. Shut the fuck up and quit laughing. You know, he's just been. So now we're trying to find somebody to make this motherfucker cry. And he said, all right. So he drops a $100 bill into the jar, walks around behind the counter. Whole bar jumps for a second, and then he walks back around. Grabs the jar and goes to head out. Donkey is crying. He looks at the guy and he goes, whoa, 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 whoa. Barkeep, before the guy can ever get out the door, stops him. Guy turns around and goes, what? He says, man, what did you do? Last time you were here, he was laughing so fucking hard, he was crying. Now he's crying so fucking hard, he's almost laughing. What the hell? The guy said, well, to make him laugh, I said I had a bigger dick than he did. To make him cry, I showed him. And he walks out. It's a joke my grandpa used to tell.
That's your grandpa. Your grandpa was just like, I'm gonna teach you dirty big cock jokes. It's like, I could teach you so many things. I could teach you the mysteries of the universe, so you could be the daddy leather wizard. But really, I'm gonna teach you big cock jokes.
Well,
you have a very interesting family, Clint. I don't know if anyone has ever told you that. You have a very intriguing family.
Well, when you think about it, he was a Vietnam vet. So every time I was sitting around him and all of his buddies who were all Vietnam veterans, they told dirty jokes, they cussed, they burped, they farted. You know, they did every gross thing you can think of because, you know, camaraderie from the military. You know, especially one man named Gibson. This old man had saved my grandfather's life 3 times and ended up moving to the same town, you know, later on when he came out of the military, because he ended up falling in love with a young woman in my grandpa's hometown of Warren. And they were pen pals at first, and then he ended up falling in love with her. And beautiful story. I'll tell y'all that some other time. But he took and, you know, my grandpa would tell jokes, and I was always his little shadow. So I heard every little thing that they ever said, and I absorbed it. You know, a lot of times they talked about important shit, you know, which is where I actually get my articulation from and my actual ability to speak with some form of intelligence instead of just sitting up here sounding like I'm a dumbass. You know, I'm actually able to sit up here and sound like I know at least part of what I'm talking about, because most of what I talk about, I do try to research as much as I can. I do get things wrong, guys. I'm human. Everybody is. But he did teach me quite a few things. In fact, it was that grandfather that taught me the survival skills that I used whenever I was homeless for 6 years. So he did teach me some wonders of the world. But yeah, he taught me big dick jokes and big titty jokes and, you know, just all kinds of shit. But yeah, I do have an interesting family.
And look at you now. About to be monetized with all those big dick jokes. See? I guess he taught you right then.
You thought I was an alien?
Now that would be the shocker of the week if you actually pulled off your furry mask and underneath was one of those little gray Men in Black aliens, the ones that push the buttons in between
Or a
the human
reptile.
race.
Or a reptile.
I
My
don't think
nickname is
so.
Gator. My nickname is Gator. So,
Donovan, are you really still homeless? I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm sorry, Donovan. You know, I was living. I'm living with my dad currently until I get my RV fixed because of all that.
Oh, I mean that puts a damper on things. I hope things turn around for you.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh,
Hmm.
not you, not you, not you. Okay, okay, okay. I think he was talking about me.
Oh, so
And
he's a real big fan of you, so if he can actually recount parts of your history.
I guess so. But yeah, Donovan, I actually was kicked out of my house because my stepmom did not agree with me being pagan. So that's how I ended up homeless at 16. But I still graduated high school doing that. And I got proof. There it is. I don't have my big one anymore. High school diploma right there, buddy. I graduated high school homeless in a tent, walking 12 miles just to get out of the woods to get to school every day. Yeah, I sound like an old grandpa, but that's what I did. So when I try to tell people, y'all can do anything, I mean you can do anything. Because before I realized I was a schizophrenic epileptic, I graduated high school on my own, homeless in a tent with no help. So I know you guys can do it. I know you guys can do whatever y'all put y'all's mind to. I know y'all have a light that's shining within y'all. Y'all just got to let it show. And guys, that light, it can have all kinds of complex and facets to it that is just incredible. And that's what makes you you. And guys, y'all got to be able to find that spark. Y'all got to be able to find that light, that fire, and then let it out of you. And then that way, the rest of the world can see how amazing you are.
Clinton, which light? Which light are you referring to? Are you referring to this little light of mine?
I'm referring to the spark of creativity that lies within all of us. You
Well,
know,
fine.
we are all
I will let it.
creators.
I will.
There you go.
Oh, what's wrong with being homeless? Davey, there's two different versions of homeless. There is homeless as in you don't have a physical property, but you're safe. And then there's homeless as in you have no property and you're definitely not safe. He was
Yeah.
living in a tent. And for some people, that's actually a lot better because sometimes you have to make better decisions. Like you can't eat at a Burger King every fucking day when you live in a fucking tent. And that saved your life. Because look at you
And
now.
you see what I did while I was homeless was trout lines, snare traps, pitfall traps with pugil sticks in the bottom of it, and some counterweight traps with some netting, and of course, straight up hunting with a bow and arrow, where I even used alligator gar scales to make my arrows, you know, because they were already sharp. I just had to put a serration into them, and that was it. And that was how I fed myself for the longest time. And my diet consisted mainly of fish, you know, and I really found 1,000 ways to cook a catfish over an open fire. My personal favorite way is to stuff it with red beans and rice.
Are you a noodler?
Yes. Yep.
Wow.
I've done basically every kind of fishing you can think of except for fly fishing and salt and deep sea fishing.
I
Those are the
hear
only
about
two.
people who noodle to get catfish. And
You can get some big ones.
is it really worth it?
Uh, let's
I
put
say
it
that
this
like in
way.
horror, obviously. Because
Let's
that
put
just
it
sounds
this way.
insane.
If I caught a 2 pound catfish, just 2 pounds, I was fed for a day and a half. But if I went noodling and I pull up a 45-pound catfish, I'm eating for a week. So yeah, it's worth getting bit. You know, it's worth the dangers and the risks, especially if you need the calories, especially if you need the energy. And the only thing is, man, just look in the hole before you stick your hand in there, for Christ's sake. Don't just reach into some place you never know when you're going to pull out a turtle.
This is why you have to talk to her pimp first.
You got any snapper turtles in there? What's up, Leonardo? Oh shit, I saw Splinter.
This bitch got wood. I got a Splinter. What the fuck are you trying to sell me?
Bitch, I got a Splinter from your bitch. What the hell? Why didn't you tell me she was Sandpaper Sally?
Bitch got wood. I should have known when I felt that bit is trouble.
Fucking Sandpaper Sally.
Damn, that is good. Damn, that is good.
We used to have a girl in school. Her nickname was Sandpaper Sally, and it was because she would she would shave down there constantly. But every guy she ever got with said she never got wet. Like, she would not get wet. So you had to slick her up your damn self, or it was fucking sandpaper because all the stubble, you know. So she was Sandpaper Sally. We also had another chick named Corn Dog because she stuck a frozen corn dog up there and pulled out just the stick and had to go to the emergency room to get it removed.
That is so horrific. Was it a frozen corn dog or was it right off the fucking...
No, it was frozen.
Wow.
She liked ice play.
How do you know? How do you know? Clint, why are you involved in this story? What? Oh my God, Clint, why are you involved in that story? What did you do? What did you do, Clint?
I dated her before I knew she was Corn Dog.
Clint, you grew up in the fucking South. You grew up in a small town. Nobody could fucking pull you aside and say, "Hey, you know that girl?
You know that girl we all call Corn Dog? That's her." I would have been like, "Oh, that bitch a freak. Let's go have fun." You know.
Okay, out of curiosity, how long did it take you to Columbo this shit? How long did it take you to unravel the mystery of Sandpaper Sally and Iceberg Hose?
Oh, well, I knew Sandpaper Sally because she was a good friend of mine. Her actual name was Regina. And she was a good friend of mine, and all of her boyfriends complained, and she always came to me for advice on what to do. And I just told her, have a supply of lube. But when it came down to Corn Dog, because I'm not going to use her real name, when it came down to Corn Dog, I didn't know she was Corn Dog because I had moved to another school and met her there again because that's where her mother taught. And I ended up dating her. And then when I ran into a friend of mine from my hometown, he's like, "Dude, you realize that's Corn Dog, right?" I said, "No." He said, "Yeah, that's Corn Dog." So that was 3 months later. Yeah, 3 months later.
I need you to tell me, how did you break up with her?
Well, it was actually kind of a little mean on my part, to be honest. I literally just told her, and that it just wasn't working out and that I had to go. She was really disappointed. She was crying her eyes out. I totally broke her heart. But I broke it off in the easiest way I possibly could because, it wasn't even the fact that she was...
and then said, "Here, bitch, fetch."
No, I broke up with her over the phone like a coward. Yeah. Your volume, okay, I hear you now.
Oh my God. You, over the phone? You couldn't even take her to a nice restaurant, so she couldn't even make a scene? You couldn't even pull that move. You had to do it over
Nope.
the phone.
Nope. I
Were
did
you
it
doing
over
it
the
over the phone
phone.
because all your buddies were in the same room and they were like, "Can you
Actually,
say
I was home.
frozen or corn dog?" In the
Actually,
conversation.
I was home alone. I was living with a friend at the time. Sometimes sometimes some of my friends would let me stay the winter, or at least a month, the worst part of the winter at their house. And I was staying there with him. They were all out doing a family thing. I was stuck there by myself. I called her up, and I just broke up with her, and I hung up the phone, and it was just, you know, it was just one of those, hey, I'm sorry. It's not working out like I thought it would. And it legitimately was that. She was moving too fast for my taste. I'd just gotten out of a relationship with my very, very first girlfriend, and she was already talking about this bitch already talking about kids, what we gonna name them, where we gonna live. We've been together for about 6 months at this point, and I
I
was
would
just
like
like,
to meet your son, Frank. Do you, Clint, take this corn dog fucking hoe to be your lovely wedded wife?
no, I broke up before I got that far. I didn't want to be known as Mr. Corn Dog there. So I broke it off.
Anyone in public? Good God.
You got to understand, man. I've never had a beautiful woman attracted to me. Not what people would consider classically beautiful. I've always attracted the freaks. It's just who I am. It's because I'm too accepting. I know I'm too trusting. I'm too accepting. And I know that sometimes it gets my ass in trouble. I write a check my ass can't cash. But I always find a way to get my ass out of it.
Okay, so we're actually getting some late breaking news. We're following up on this corn dog girl. She had two kids. One of them was named Ballpark Frank, and the other was Kosher International.
You forgot Bar S. She a cheapo. You forgot Bar S.
Oh, she did for a second have a little girl that she was gonna call Nathan's.
Either that or Vienna.
Vienna sausage is the best. Vienna would be a perfect name for a fucking sausage queen girl. The fucking oh my god, why is she the corn dog girl and not the sausage queen?
I have
Girl,
no idea.
get your life sorted. You're not the fucking. She needed to fucking reinvent herself. I mean, that is something straight out of Bangkok. Bangkok does the ping pong challenge, and she's like, "I'm a fucking American. We do the corn dog challenge here."
Yeah. Oh man. But no, my first fiance was a bigger girl. She was about my height, but she was 220 pounds. Now, granted, about 30 pounds of that was titties, and another 40 pounds of that was ass. So, yeah, I like my women with a nice, good, thick booty and a nice big old chest.
There's nothing wrong with being a fat girl if you learn how to put yourself together. Fat women don't often learn how to style themselves. This is, I think, like the only decade where fat women are like, we will find the clothes that fit us. We will accentuate what we accentuate. Like Lizzo. Lizzo knows she's a big girl.
A big
But you
girl.
cannot look at Lizzo and think that she's not attractive.
Well, I
Because
wouldn't use Lizzo.
sexual. She's so sensual that you have to just say, you know what? I would. You would with
Well,
Lizzo, wouldn't
I
you?
wouldn't with Lizzo. I wouldn't with Lizzo. But now Queen Latifah, yeah, I'd go rounds with that woman.
You just like the challenge because you know that she only likes the fucking fish taco and she wouldn't go for the fucking meat.
Hey,
You like the
hey,
challenge?
hey, I got a tongue. And I really know how to use it.
You want to go to the Pussy Olympics as someone who has to deal with career lesbians who do tongue push-ups to make sure that they continually have just good technique.
I learned how to write some kanji from Japanese caricatures with my tongue. I hit every nerve.
Take notes.
I hit every nerve.
Science. This man is dropping science.
I hit it.
The alphabet only has 26 letters, and the Chinese alphabet has thousands.
I only know 4, but that's all it normally takes because it literally hits every single major nerve cluster with the exception of the G spot. And when it does that, man, by the time you're done doing that and the English alphabet with your tongue, dude, they done squirted, whether they squirt or not, all in your face. Trust me, I've done it many a times.
See, this is why you wear that black leather. You wear that black leather because you expect to be in the splash zone.
Yeah, all the time.
30-pound titties. 30-pound titties how? Have you ever weighed a fucking titty? A fucking tit is sometimes as big as your head or bigger than your head. And it's all meaty muscle. There's no like soft tissue to that. Soft tissue, my ass.
She had F cup titties.
Let this bitch go.
I didn't let her go. She cheated on me and left me with my best friend.
Tell me the full story, okay? Nobody just cheats with your best friend because your best friend is supposed to be your best friend. How is it? Okay, you said she cheated with a man who was your best friend. What best friend does this?
Well, come to find out, he only became friends with me to try to hook up with her. And he was her first crush. And I was busy trying to get a house, a job, a place to put it, you know, a place for us to go.
Put it? You didn't put it inside her. He beat you to it.
Oh, no, I put it inside her many, many times before he did. I was her first. But I was trying to find a place to put the travel trailer that I managed to get us because that's all I could afford at the time. And I got a job at Walmart. We had a little trailer park we were going to go to at first. It was going to be just fine. I literally had finally gotten everything together after 2 months of us having to just call each other. And then when I went to talk to her, she was no longer wearing the engagement ring that I had made for her. Like, it wasn't something I just went to a K jeweler and bought. I went to an actual jeweler, designed the ring myself, and had it handmade. It was rose gold and emerald. And she sold it. She sold it to a pawn shop. And when I walked in, it wasn't on her finger. And I looked at her and she said, "We need to talk." And I said, "Are you leaving me?" And she said, "Yes." Well, of course, me being the man that I am, I broke down crying. Well, in the process of that and her talking to me, I started to hear laughter because I don't remember much of the conversation between me and her at that point. What I remember is hearing laughter. And I turn around and I look, and there's my buddy Will, who she just told me she was leaving me for, sitting on the other side of the restaurant, Chili's here in Silsbee, recording me. They had just opened. I split 6 tables in half and had to be tasered 3 times trying to get to the son of a bitch. I was trying to kill him. And the cops knew it. They knew me. And I'd been in several major fights, you know, that the cops had to break up, all of which was either defending myself or somebody else. So I didn't get any assault charges, thank God. But I ended up going home after everything was said and done. I'm permanently banned from all Chili's and Chili's associated restaurants. I went home, I cried, I called her, and she spilled the beans. She had been cheating on me for 3 months out of the 4.5 years we were together. And she told me she'd sold the ring. She told me we were through, that she loved Will. She always had loved Will, and that she was only with me because she didn't figure she could get anybody else. And that's what I get a lot of the times, man. I'm used as a stepping stone until their new man comes into view. And then when he comes into view, I'm thrown away like trash, and that's kind of what I'm used to. So that's why I don't expect much out of relationships anymore. I literally just expect a little bit of whoopee every now and more than likely her to leave. That's why my girlfriend Jen Jen is all the way in North Carolina while I'm all the way in Southeast Texas. You know, if something goes wrong within a year or so, I could break it off without feeling bad. Because once I get close, once I, have sex with somebody or something like that, that connection that I feel is so strong that I'm now absolutely devoted to that person. And when they do the things that they do to me, that's why creations from my schizophrenia like this, the heartbroken, come out. That's what he represents, is all the pain and negativity I've ever felt, all the trauma. It's all wrapped up into him. And yeah, that my life exactly hasn't been nice to me. It hasn't been easy. It's been rather difficult. I'm actually lucky I'm still alive.
Everyone in the chat needs to tell Clint how amazing he is. How amazing he is. Uh, how could someone treat you that way? How can
My
they
whole
not
family does.
see? How can people not see what a good, decent person you are? You're trying to fix a park. You're trying to build a school. You're trying to uplift veterans every chance you get. You're trying to help people all the time, and someone can't just be honest with you. Everyone
It's
needs to
just how it
say
is.
how amazing you are. Dude, fist bump. There you go.
But yeah, man, that's just how it is. My own family is even that way. They don't like being around me because of my schizophrenia and my epilepsy. So I've always been an outcast. I've always been on my own. Um, that's kind of why I developed my own personality that's completely separate from the rest of my family. I don't match them whatsoever. They're all beer guzzling football nuts that like to hunt in a deer stand and work on cars and trucks all day long, and here I am. I want to go out and make a knife. I want to go out and build a walking stick. I want to go on nature hikes. I want to, try to save money to save parks. All these things that I want to do, these are not anything that my family, instilled in me whatsoever. This is all my personal beliefs that I developed over my lifetime because I've always been locked in a room and forgot about. I was always left alone. Nobody wanted to deal with me. I literally was the beginning of the TV tablet generation. Where here's a TV, just sit in front of it, leave us alone. And that was my life. If it wasn't me being left alone, I was in the woods alone, or I was getting my ass totally handed to me by an abusive grandma and grandfather, or not grandfather, abusive grandma and uncle. My grandfather, he could be hard, but it was tough love. It was that veteran love, that real army, strong, you got to be tough and a warrior kind of love. But when it came down to my uncle, it was he loved whiskey and it made him angry, and I was his closest target. My grandmother, it was just she hated my father, and so she figured she'd take it out on me. And I was abused severely from 5 to 13 until my Uncle Wayne came at me to totally just beat the shit out of me at a family reunion or at a family get together for Christmas. And I broke his jaw in 3 places. I completely decimated him. I put him in the hospital for 6 weeks. I hit him in the head with a baseball bat. and just went to town on him with my fist after that. It took 3 grown men to take my 13-year-old ass off of him, and I was trying to kill him. But I was filled with a lot of rage back then. I was filled with a lot of anger. I didn't think clearly. I wasn't on medication, so my schizophrenia took control a lot too, and I wouldn't recognize it. So my family, just instead of wanting to deal with that, they just hid me away and just acted like I didn't exist. So it's just something I'm used to. I'm an invisible man, in many sense of the word. People don't see me.
Thank you, Voided13, for saying you are unforgettable, Clint, because you are.
Thank you.
You definitely are. You've touched so many lives by doing YouTube lives.
I try.
You make a difference in the world. You really have.
I try to. I feel like it's my duty a lot of times to do what I do. And the reason why I feel like it's my duty is not out of some guilt, not out of, pride or anything like that. It's actually out of trauma. I feel the need to take care of the rest of the world because nobody ever took care of me. So I feel the need to spread that care and to spread that joy that I never felt. And that's why I'm so close to my friends. That's why I take such good care of those that are, my family. Hey, it's no big deal, there, Sue. Thank you, Danny. But I'm honest. That is one of my biggest problems. I'm brutally honest, even when it makes me look bad. I'm brutally honest, and it's just it's the way of my people that I have chosen. Courage, discipline, fidelity, integrity, honesty, humility, humble, hospitality. All these things are all mixed in to the Norse belief. And that's why I cling to it so much, because it allows me to be a warrior while at the same time be caring. So, yeah, that's just a little insight into me, guys. That's why I'm mentally ill. That's why I'm messed up. I mean, hell, I live.
Can I be your friend, Clint?
Danny, you're more than welcome, man. I take anyone and everyone, basically, as long as you're not disrespectful and not a pedophile, because I won't let pedophiles near me. Because I'm on
Clint channel direction. Please, everyone, like and subscribe to his channel. He's trying to make a difference in this world. The least we could do is support him on his journey, because he's going to go someplace, and you want to be the right kind of person who says, I will support someone like Clint, because look at all that he's experienced, and he still tries to be a decent person. I don't understand how you can lose all that rage. After all the stuff that you said to me, I wouldn't even need coffee. I would just remember what happened to me, and I would be wide awake.
Oh, homie, that ain't even half. That ain't even a quarter. The pain I went through, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Every time in my life that I've gotten this close to being happy, it's been yanked out from under me. Every single time. Either houses sold out from underneath me that I was buying, women cheating on me and leaving me, or losing a job at the worst possible moment because of my epilepsy. And it just got to be a real hard struggle. One that I finally decided that I'm going to sit back, I'm going to relax, I'm going to make my business, and I'm going to do it my way. That way I can no longer be looked at as a piece of trash. That way I can no longer be looked at as somebody invisible. When you go through your life and you have no one, when you finally get somebody, you hang on to them with all you've got. You don't let go. And when you do, it's heartbreaking, not just for them, but it rips your heart out to have to do it, because that longing, that love, that need for attention and affection that every human being deserves is not there. And when it's not there, the demons come in. And when they come in, guys, it doesn't matter how strong you are, your knees will buckle. It will break your mind. And what snapped me out of it was the grenade accident. That's what snapped me out of it, was the grenade accident, and then losing my children to a no contest divorce case. And I couldn't be mad anymore. I got so angry, I couldn't be mad anymore. I even forgave those that hurt me. I just couldn't do it anymore. And it was because I felt like I was destroying myself from the inside out.
Femboy Jungle, welcome to the chat. I appreciate you here. We have to celebrate our true heroes, celebrate beautiful souls that they come in here and feel comfortable to share their truth and to share their journey. I mean, you are the phoenix. When I think of
Thank you.
someone who has been put through the fire and you have come out the other side, and I see such a beautiful light in you. I see such strength of character, and you're a protector, you're a healer. You by sharing what you did, you're healing people because you're showing that you hurt and it's okay to be hurt when you can inspire people. And
And
you're inspiring me to just continue to be a decent person, even though I am just as angry as you are right now, and just as angry as you were. But
back
I
then,
wish I could forgive like you. I really do. I wish that was the case.
and you see,
It's hard
man,
to forgive when you keep being reminded by it. At least in the world that you're living in right now, things are going to get better. I have to believe that for you. I have to believe that with
I have
YouTube
to too.
finally recognizing you, you're going to be able to spread your wings and fly. And I believe that. I believe that this is the time that the training wheels come off and you won't need anybody. You're going to do this on your own.
I sure hope so, man, because I'm going to share one more little bit with the crowd here, just so they can understand just a little bit more of why I'm a little nuts, why I'm a little kooky, and maybe it'll help you to understand why I couldn't be gay. One day, when my uncle was particularly drunk and I was playing in the barn, he took a cattle prod. He duct taped it on. He forced me down and he shoved it inside me on and left it that way. I sat there twitching and screaming for 20 minutes before I was able to get my legs around it and pull it out. Him just sitting there laughing, thinking it was funny. That's the kind of stuff I went through. That's the kind of pain I felt. That's the horrors that I experienced, the worst of mankind. And I chose to rise above that, to be a light in the middle of just a void. Because if anyone had ever experienced pain like that, I refuse to let them feel it again. Because I refuse to let myself feel that pain again. That's why I'm terrified of electricity. Every time it thunders and lightnings, I hide in my house. I can't take it. But yeah,
It's important for you to feel safe, and there's no shame in being triggered by something like that.
there's no shame, but there is a lot of pain. There is a lot of
I'm with
pain.
you. Anytime you need to talk about these kind of things, just realize that you are going to be supported. You are going to have a nice safe space where you can speak about these things. And you should speak about these things because there are people out there who are feeling this way. There are people who are experiencing this. And this is why I'm fighting so hard to make a better world. Because why are people so broken that they have to take out their anger on other people? Why can't we
Thank you,
just
Danny.
admit that if we made it a better world, we wouldn't resort to such ridiculousness, such stupid, painful, hurtful behavior? Why? When all we really need to do is get this thing sorted. Get this thing sorted. Poverty, food, health, these are things that we could solve in our lifetime, but we don't ever spend the time to try and fix that. So people like Clint suffer because no president has ever really solved the war on poverty. The war on terror, nobody has ever solved, but the war on poverty continues every single day.
The war on terror can't be solved. It can't.
Well, because
There's
it just makes more terrorists.
That's what I'm getting at. There's always going to be somebody out there who thinks that their opinion and their religion is more important than everybody else's. And yet, here we go that you have these people that are poor over here in America. That problem can be solved. That
Yes, it
problem
can.
can be fixed,
Yes, it
you know,
can.
but there's no money in it. There's money in terrorism. There's money in war. But there's no money
Oh,
in helping
oh,
somebody.
oh, oh, oh. This is where I have to disagree with you, Clint. There is a huge amount of money to be gained by solving the economic crisis of America. Think of it this way. America has always worked off a deficit economy, both in personal life and in governmental spending. Imagine a world where you don't pay your rent, you don't pay your fucking electricity, you don't pay your water bill, you don't pay for food. Do you know what that means? You'll still work hard and make money, but that also means that you could do anything with that money. You could go on a holiday and say, I'm going to every single one of the states. You can say, I'm going to throw myself a party. You could say, I'm going to have a bigger marriage event. I'm going to have a bigger wedding, I guess is what they call it, marriage event. I've never been to a wedding if I call a wedding a marriage event. But anyway, you could spend more on personal stuff when you have more money. The whole idea of, well, poor people should stay poor because that's what makes the world work doesn't fucking fly when you know that if poor people have money, they don't save it, they spend it. Poor people do not lock up their money in a fucking cash deposit. They're like, give me that fucking Xbox, give me a fucking fish tank, give me a fucking jet ski. And that's what they want to do. And sometimes that's a good thing because what happens if you're the jet ski business owner? Clint, what happens when nobody can afford a jet ski in your town? You move to something like Tallahassee, Florida, and
Or
you're
you
the
go
jet
to
ski guy, and nobody can afford it.
around here, it would be Hemp Hill is the jet ski capital because that's where we have most of our lakes at. 7 scariest words ever spoken. I'm from the government. I'm here to help. God, yes. Carbon monoxide is the reason for, like, that's what cars mostly produce. That's what smog's mostly made out of. You can get cyanosis from it. Hence the reason for the blue lips. But yeah, that's just a little bit more insight into me, guys. Just a little bit more truth from me. You know, so maybe y'all can understand that, yeah, I'm mentally fucked up, but it's for a reason. And you know what? I still wouldn't change it because it would change me. So I still would not change anything that happened. Go through it all over again. Why? Because I'm a better person because of it. I try to be anyway.
I don't have a time machine, so I can't go back and save younger Clint, but I am very proud that I know the Clint that I see before me.
I'm proud to be me. I'm very proud to be me. Mistaken about what there, Danny? Okay, let me close that off. I'm almost out of cigarettes. I got to yakking about that crap. And you know, the sad part is, talking about that part of my past doesn't hurt as bad as talking about losing my kids. That was the most painful.
That's a tough one. That really
Yeah.
is. If you're talking about trauma, losing your you see, I have PTSD from my military sexual trauma, and that's hurtful enough. But I feel what you feel when you talk about that, because I want to have a family. I want to be a regular person and just do stupid things like teach my kid how to make its own radio.
Yeah.
For some reason, I'm so damaged emotionally that but you had the opportunity to have 2 biological kids, and it's just been taken from you. Dude, that is not okay. It is not. How are they supposed to know you? How are they supposed to see what a good, decent person you are?
I hope they
They're
find
being
me on
wrong.
YouTube.
They should know you.
I hope they find me on YouTube. I thought they did one day, but I think it was some guy trolling me. You know, but yes, that's my dog Shuck. He likes to talk. Say hi, baby. Good boy. That's my Shuck. What's up, baby? Go. I know, it's almost time, I know. Okay, quit talking, go lay down.
You know, I have to say that dog truly loves you. Loves you. Please give that dog a hug. Thank you.
If you let me, the little squirmy thing. What did I just drop? My pliers. Been working in the bed all night.
What the fuck are you doing in the bed all night with pliers? Clint, what the fuck are you doing in the bed with pliers?
Just getting ready for the next walking stabs I'm gonna make.
Been circling around you?
No, I've been getting ready to make some new walking stabs. I got to be able to hang them up for them to dry, so they can take and look all nice and neat.
Show them the one that you made earlier, because people need to know that he actually sells handicrafts like this.
I'll show them the one I made for myself because the others are hanging up drying. Alrighty here. A little bit of context in here. This is magnolia, longleaf magnolia. So this is just the base of the staff. Starts with runes of prosperity, courage, strength, godly power, love for a woman, strength in combat, prosperity. It's got copperhead skin. This is actual snake skin. It's got, actually, I think this one's godly power. This one is courage in combat, actually. And this is the helm of all. But this is just this is my personal walking staff that I made for myself. And I do stuff like this on a regular basis to sell. And I also make things like this. Made that out of old car keys and a ironwood stick. That is a medieval mace. I use it as a walking cane. And then there's my...
Nice. I just had 20 puppies.
Oh, well, nice.
I refer to them as your children, but...
And then I made this. And this is another one that I made.
Puppies, though. How did you...
That is a lot of... That is a lot of puppies.
Out of one bitch?
Somebody got frisky.
What you feeding this girl that she had fucking 2 females? You got 2 bitches. Okay, now you coming to my channel to fucking gloat. You got 2 bitches.
But yeah, I also handmade this. That is Damascus steel, brass, and 5060 CRC. You also have black walnut handle with elk bone and a brass pommel. So I made this up in Ohio with a friend of mine's modern forge. But I do still make knives down here just out of mono steel instead of Damascus. And it's only because I don't have a power hammer. So yeah, that's what I do, guys. This is what I do to try to make money. I even made the sheath. This is what I'm trying to do to get myself out.
Can you show us the sheath a little bit closer so we can see the craftsmanship on that? Explain to me how you do the stitching on the side.
Actually, I take an awl, which is, and I punch down it and just punch holes. And as I go around the edges and everything like that, which I line out with one of them little sewing tools that has all the little spikes on it, looks like a spur. I go down the edge with that, and then I line my holes with it, and then I stitch it up. It's pretty easy, actually. My first scabbard is actually falling apart on me. I got to repair it. But it was the one that I used for this knife that I made. This is my camping knife. This is what I use every time I go out into the wilds, every time I go into the woods. That's my constant companion. I call it the Norton blade because me and my grandpa Norton made it together. And I've had it ever since I was about 6 years old.
Look at it, stunning.
Yep. Made out of an old axe blade. It's got to get a little repair done to it, but not much. But this blade's like 30 years old. And I've had it ever since then. I always liked the shape to it whenever I made it because I thought it looked like a fang.
Did you just say that the other mother is German Shepherd, Coyote, and Pitbull?
That's a combo.
You better explain to me how you got a coyote to fucking sit still long enough to hear the bomb chicka wow wow. Did you play some Barry White? Like, how did you make this happen? Were you lighting candles? Was there a little plate of spaghetti and the two of them had to finish the noodle together? How did you make this happen? because the lady and the coyote doesn't really ring a bell in my Disney discography.
Well, the tramp kind of looked like a half coyote. And then there's Balto, half wolf. I love Balto too. Your volume's off, brother.
Oh, I'm sorry. I do love Balto, and I almost wish they did a White Fang remake. It's about time.
They did do a White Fang remake. They did an animated one on Netflix. That was
What?
so fucking hard to say. Yeah, there's an animated one on Netflix. It's CGI. It was really good. It follows pretty close to the book. So
the last one I remember was with Ethan Hawke, and I thought
This one's an animated one, and it's one of those animated films that's directed towards the whole audience and not just little kids. So it's got serious scenes, it's got drama scenes, it's got combat, it's got basically it's got everything the book has. You know, it's just shortened. That would be some crazy looking dogs there, Dad.
How exotic, though.
Oh,
what
yeah,
is
definitely.
The personality of a coyote mixed dog.
Well, we had a coyote mixed cur when I was growing up. Her name was Sheba, and she had a pretty sweet disposition, unless she did not know you. If she did not know you, she tried to eat you. So we had to lock her up whenever company came over. Yep, coyotes are dogs. They are a species of canine. Speaking of coyotes, I actually had, while I was homeless, a little encounter with them. You know, and that almost ended badly for me. Had it not been for that knife I just showed you guys, I wouldn't be here. I almost got eaten by them. I backed myself up to a tree.
A coyote when I went outside today. I have to tell you this. You got stories. I got stories. As I'm going out today to let my dog piss and shit like I normally do, there is a woman with full-on formula and a baby bottle right outside my door.
Okay.
And you know, she's hitting the intercom, she's trying to reach this guy, she's trying to like whatever, and it's just the kid runs to me, and all I can say is, did you know that your kid is an astronaut? Because they're about to be airborne. Yeet to the fucking max. Like, what the fuck is going on in that situation where a kid is running up to a perfect stranger? Like, and the mother is just like, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say, really?
Just kick the baby.
I have a problem with cisgender people coming down on transgender people. Transgender people are woke people who, for the most part, some of them adopt, some of them have actual kids, and they love their kids. They love being parents. But these straight people, sometimes they don't care that they even had a kid. Like, it's an apartment building, and this woman spread out her baby formula, spread out. There's a full bottle of milk just on the doorway, just a bottle of milk in the doorway. Like, what the fuck? And she left. She left the bottle there. Like, I don't understand. Like, talk about savages. Just that's just savage. Like, you had a kid with somebody in this building, not me. Definitely not me. Look at me in my blue lipstick. Does it look like I fathered a kid this week? Not lately.
He'd be running up to you, calling you Papa Smurf.
I wish the bitch would. I wish the bitch would. Because then I would have to say that the only time that a woman may have been conceived with my seed is when I had sex right behind a Tesla. a Tesla showcase factory. That's the only time a woman could have conceived a child from me. Other than that, there is no way a child in America or anywhere could ever be from me.
Yeah, and you see, I don't think because of my grenade accident, it kind of destroyed my squigglers. So that and my medication kind of destroyed them too. So I'll never have kids again, and that kind of breaks my heart. But like you said, if me and Jinjin don't work out, I can always find a woman that has a kid. I'm not afraid of being a stepdad.
No, you're gonna go to Sweden, and they're gonna do a Viking ritual, and they're gonna sacrifice a goat and a chicken, and they're gonna like speak to Odin as Odin to give you some secret Viking Viagra, and you're gonna fuck like
Viking
10 women
vigor.
at a time, and they're gonna like pound, 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 pound town, and you will experience an extension to your lineage, let's say.
Man, I hope you're right because it's really lonely living the life I live. It really is. That's why I'm on here with you guys. That's why I'm texting people all the time. It's very lonely being me. But like I said, I wouldn't change it. It's made me a strong person. It's made me compassionate, but it definitely hasn't been easy. I just have to say that, but as far as having kids one day again, man, I'm afraid I'm too old for it now. I'm looking at
Dude,
it
you're
like,
younger than I am. You could get this too old. What are you, Danny Glover in Lethal Weapon? I'm too old for this shit.
well, but no, the reason why I say that, man, is because, I mean, honestly, look at you. You're older than I am by a good 2 years, but you look like you're 20 years younger than me. With my disorders and everything like that, with my condition, I age rapidly, rapidly, and it doesn't help that I smoke. But yeah, I I'm looking at some serious problems by the time I reach 45, 50 years old that I'm going to have to contest with, such as dementia. So I've got some things I got to work out medically before I'm ever worried about having a kid.
This is precisely why I'm telling you need to get out and go to Sweden, because that will improve your health. Being with your own people, learning everything about your culture, about your history,
That's what
that
makes it
will
special.
extend your life and add quality to it. So this is the day you are going to be made a YouTube
I
partner.
hope
I
so.
believe it.
I hope so, man. But I've got to actually get Shuck's got to go to the bathroom, and it's actually time for his second feeding. So I got to let you go. But it's, as always, been an absolute pleasure, Ian. Thank you so much for having me on the show. Guys, thank you all so much for being here. And by the way, to the person who said that I had really pretty blue eyes, they're all natural, no contacts. So thank you very much for that. It's my best quality, in my opinion. So, guys, we'll see you all here next time. Absolutely adored it there, Ian. Thank you so much for the fun. And guys, I'll check you later. See you from a swamp, later from a gator. Love you, mama. Love you, papa. Love yourself. Be kind and always find a way to help everybody. See you here next time on Ian's channel when I get the invite. See you later, brother.
Thank you. Everyone, there's a link to the description that goes directly to his channel. Please like and subscribe. He's such an amazing person. Dad, welcome to the channel. I'm always looking to adopt dogs. I can afford to have another dog, but when I do, I'm actually gonna try and adopt one. Maybe from a breeder like yours. Oh, and if you need to promote your kennel, by all means, send me an email. I love helping fellow business people. Too old now, man. Larry King did it. It's the best known secret that men do not understand. Men are supposed to live into the hundreds and fuck till maybe like 90 and sometimes beyond. It's true, you could probably start a family when you're much, much younger, and some people do. But if you start later, it's not really too much of a penalty. Isn't Clint awesome? Absolutely awesome. I'm so glad to have him on the channel. The time just flies when you're having fun with him. But he does have a point. I'll see all of you again soon on the next podcast. My name is XIlyana. I hope you had fun here. Hope you felt that the world could be a better place, because it can be a better place if we come together. I want to thank all my moderators that have come into the channel. Thank you all for being phenomenal. Thank you, Danny. Thank you. And thank you, Voided. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the revolution. Honorary members here. And I hope to see you again on my next podcast.